Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Ginger Bets Golf Betting Insights weekly YouTube video. It's US Open week coming up. It's going to be a cracker. Torrey Pines South, a monster of a track, and it's going to demand a player to be in tip-top shape with his A game in all departments to lift that trophy come Sunday evening. Now, before we get into this week's video, a bit of housekeeping, please. If you've enjoyed the content so far, if you're new here, please do subscribe in the link below. We've got around 33 followers. It's not a lot. I know that. I don't care, because Ginger's got red hair. But that's not the point. What's coming in this week's video? Well, slight twist. Tomorrow or Monday, you will be getting the outright picks and the best outsiders. But before we get there, I thought some of the golf enthusiasts out there might want to know what my views are on the superstars this week. So in this 10-minute video, I'm going to give you a breakdown of the top 12, 13 players in the market, the superstars heading into next week's US Open. I'm going to cover off their current form, their US Open form of the past, and a general overview of why I think they can and can't lift that trophy come Sunday evening. So that's what you're going to get in the next 10 minutes. If this video is not for you, get away right now and just wait for Monday's video, where I'll be giving you a snapshot of the outright tips and the best outsider bets for the week ahead. But there are golf mega enthusiasts like myself out there who will be keen to see, or the superstars, an overview of them. And I'm sure there's plenty of content that you'll be able to tune in. So I'm grateful if you're taking the time to listen to this 10-minute slot today. Right, let's get stuck into it. Torrey Pines South, it's an absolute monster. Par 71, 7,600 yards from the tips. Poana greens, not many of the players like that, trust me. It's going to be a brute. I'll give you one stat. JT, he's a leader going into this. People will fancy him. He sits about 130th in the putting stats on Poa greens. On top of that, he hasn't been putting very well. So he's one that I'll be talking about in the next few minutes, and he's not one that I'm keen on. Right, let's get to it. Jon Rahm, he's going to head the field this week, and rightly so, because Jon Rahm leads the field in terms of strokes gained data at Torrey Pines South, and he leads it by some distance. He is head and shoulders above, but there's a caveat here. He hasn't played Torrey Pines South in June in US Open week. So let's have a look at his record. He's had 5 events at the US Open. He's made 3 cuts, and his best finish, 3rd in 2019. And when we're looking at his 2021 form, do we say he's got a win after last week's mishap? Maybe we do, but he hasn't so far, and that is usually a prerequisite for winning the US Open. There hasn't been a US Open winner of recent times that hasn't had a top 3 finish in the current year to date. And Jon Rahm, if we look at it, strictly speaking, he hasn't got a top 3 finish. However, I think it's fair to say he would have finished in the top 3 last week. So he has 7 top 10s this year from 12 events. Do I like him? No, I don't. I don't like him at 11-1, and let me tell you why. There are players in this tournament that have proven that they can get the job done in low-scoring events. If we look at last year's winner of the US Open, Bryson DeChambeau, he's 7, 8, 9 points bigger depending on where you look for next week's event. And let's be straight here. He's done it. He's bought the T-shirt. He's been there, right? Jon Rahm, he hasn't. He might have put on a display of excellence at the Irish Open, shooting clear of the field, but he hasn't done it in a major. And I'm not sure a tough test, a grinding test after the disappointments of last week will be the one that gets him off the mark. He's going to win majors in his career, but do I think it'll be this week? He's sure to be popular, but is he a bet at 11-1? He isn't for me. Right, second player that I want to talk about, DJ. DJ's currently playing. It's Friday when I'm recording this. Friday evening. We're getting this out hopefully ahead of your weekend reading material, and there'll be plenty of you that will be busy following the Euros. So let's have a look at DJ. 13 events in the US Open, 11 cuts made, pretty good. Winner 2016, 6 top tens. This is the tournament that suits his game, and his game suits Torrey. Now, despite the downturn this year, only 2 top tens from 10 events, injuries, withdrawals, plenty to talk about, but he has started off in the tournament, the new tournament that's taking place on the PGA Tour this week. He's started off fantastically well. I think he's tied second and 6 under par. They're probably going out, or he's probably in the middle of his round right now as I'm recording that. I will be looking at his game come Saturday and Sunday and looking to see if his tee game really, he's off the tee game, he's driving, is back to the standard that it usually is. He was missing left and right, and that ain't a formula for winning the US Open. That's a reason that I'm going to rule out one of the other superstars as we come on to him later in this YouTube video. I may as well point out now that this isn't going to be done in 10 minutes because I'm already 6 minutes in. But DJ, 2 top 10s from 10 events in 2021, first in 2016 at US Open. Really good form at a 2-time winner on the coastal track of Saudi. I quite like that form line in, and I also like the fact that DJ's got it done in low-scoring events in the past. He is definitely under consideration for me. Like I say, the final outright bets and the outsider bets will be produced on Monday, so you've got some time to wait. In the meantime, I'm going to be mulling over whether DJ makes that final list. Right, let's move on to Brooksy. Brooksy, as he's now known. Brooks Koepka, 7 events, 6 cuts made in the US Open. Pretty impressive winner. Back-to-back winner in 2017 and 2018, and he has major pedigree. And this is one thing I want to point out. This guy's been there 4 times. He's lifted 4 of these majors. John Rambo Rahm, he hasn't lifted any of them, and he's 4 or 5 points shorter than Brooksy. Yeah, John Rahm's got a bit of course form at the Torrey Pines South. But really, has he got the mentality of Brooks? The answer is no, because he hasn't got 4 majors in the bag, and this guy has. Well, that's the positives. I absolutely detest Brooks personally, and I hope that Bryson meets him in the final round this week and destroys him. And that's an unpopular opinion. Most people are Brooks fans, but I absolutely love Bryson. He gives the game his all. He's always tweaking with his game. He's great for it. Where Brooks, he doesn't love the game. He doesn't do much for the game. He's in it for himself. Bryson's obviously in it for himself, but he's in it for a different reason. His mentality is different. He's always trying to better himself. Brooks seems to be just turning up at majors and, well, he's just destroying them at majors, really. But I'm not a big fan, if I'm being truthful, but his game stacks up really well this week. Off the tee, if he performs this week at the PGA Tour event, he will be someone under very close consideration for an outright bet, and rightly so. He deserves that credit, and the fact that I dislike him won't stop me placing my money on him. So that's Brooksy. Next in the list, Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth, 9 events, 6 cuts made, but only 1 top 10. That was a win in 2015. I don't think the US Open is the one that Jordan's going to take down ever again in his career. Why? Because he hits it left, he hits it right, and that's what I just alluded to when talking about in an earlier segment. He hasn't got the consistency off the tee for me to win US Opens. Yet we've said that about Phil when he went and got the PGA Tour or PGA Championship victory only last month. A player that's hit it left and right in his career and went and won on one of the longest and most demanding courses in major history. But that doesn't stop me from thinking that Jordan is a step too far for him this week. Yes, he's had a return to form in 2021 with 8 top 10s. Yeah, 8 top 10s from 13 events. Pretty remarkable, really. But he will not be for me this week. And that is because he's too inconsistent off the tee, and this week is not about approach play. He also isn't the greatest putter in the world on the Poana greens. Next up, Rory McIlroy. Well, let me tell you, Rory has never had a win that is in single digits under par. So all of his wins have been 10 under par or more, all the way up to 20 under par and beyond. And that tells me that when the going gets tough, Rory don't get going, and I'm happy to be against him this week. Despite the recent win, I'm definitely one that will be against him. He has 12 events that he's played in at the US Open, 7 cuts made, and a win in 2011 on the rain-softened course. That was an anomaly. It won't be like that this week at Torrey Pines South. However, it is a track that demands a monster game off the tee, and Rory has that. So he's not ruled out completely by me at this stage, but he's not one that's firmly on my radar. Next up, JT. JT will be one of my lays of the week. I will be looking to lay JT in the top 5 market, the top 10 market, and the top 20 market, and that's because his putting isn't on song. And when courses are long and demanding off the tee, he seems to push it a little too much and sprays it. You ain't spraying it and winning this week, and that's a fact. So even though he has had 6 goes at the US Open, his best finish is 8th, 2 top 10s. Only 2 top 10s from 13 events this year. He should have had more, but that putter has let him down. His iron game is on song, but not at the levels and consistency that it has when he's won tournaments in his career. I'm happy to be against him this week, as I say. He's a world-class player. He's got 1 major in the bag, and that's what surprised me. 1 major in the bag. Brooks 4. I don't like Brooks, but he's got 4, and this guy's the same price. Going into this event, if you've got a free bet, if you've got a bet for charity, I know where my money's going. And even though I love him, it ain't on JT. Now we're going to come on to one of my favourite players in the world, if not my favourite. I love this guy, Bryson DeChambeau. Bryson, he's last year's winner. He won on a grind. He destroyed the field. He absolutely destroyed them. 6 strokes, I think it was, from memory. Might have been 5. Someone will correct me in the comments below. By the way, if you're enjoying this YouTube video, get some comments in there. I don't think we've had many. We've only got 33 subscribers, so it doesn't surprise me. But do get some comments in that video below. Tell me your winners. Why not? Tell me your winners. Get them in there. Tell me your best outsider. I'm keen to listen to what you, as viewers, are backing next week. So, Brooksy, 6 events. So, Brooksy. that was it. Not deliberate, that, but that's what they're calling it now. Bryson is now known as Brooksy. Bryson DeChambeau, 6 events, 4 cuts made, winner in 2020. 4 top 10s this year from 12 events and 1 win. His game suits Torrey. Even though he's not got any form there, he is monster off the tee, the best player in the world off the tee, or certainly the longest. And he's not that. He doesn't spray it as much as people think. This week, he will be a force to be reckoned with. His putting's world class, his short game's underrated, and he has the mentality. He's also won in single digits like he did last year, -6. By the way, the rest of the field, par or worse last year. So when the going gets tough, Bryson stands up. And that's what I'm looking for this week. I'm wanting a player with that in their armoury that's shown me that they've done it when the going gets tough. And that can't be said for the superstars and the media starlets that are JT, Rory McIlroy, and Rambo. They haven't done it when the going gets tough. I'd bear that in mind if I was you. Right, next player on the list, Colin Morikawa. Colin Morikawa is the best iron player in the world by some distance. There's a stat that's on Twitter. It's not mine. I don't know where it came from. But the distance between him and JT in second, the second best iron player in the world, is greater than JT and the 30th best iron player in the player. That's how far ahead he is of everyone else on the PGA Tour. He's the best iron player in the world. If he was gaining, he loses 0.3 of a stroke roughly on the field putting each tournament. If he was gaining 0.3, he would have about 8 or 9 career wins to his name now. He already has 4, by the way, and 1 major in the bag. But I'm against him this week. His best finish is only 35th in the US Open. He has not been there and done it and bought the t-shirt in this event. It's a long track. I don't think that plays to his strengths, and I think there's better majors that lie ahead for Colin Morikawa. Woo! I'm running out of breath, but I'm loving it. So, next up, Patrick Cantlay. 5 events, 5 cuts made. He is the first player that we've talked about that's made every single cut that he's been in the US Open, and that's a credit to him because he has a really consistent game. He also he has 1 win this year, and that is great. He has 3 top 10s from 11 events. I'm just having to check my notes here. Apologise for that. 3 top 10s in 11 events this year. That is decent form, and the one win, albeit it came in controversial circumstances with Jon Rahm having to withdraw last week. Do I think that he can win the US Open? I don't. I don't know why, but I've backed it. I think there's a bit of pocket talk here. I have backed him in plenty of majors so far when he's coming in hot form. He had 4 missed cuts recently before this victory, but like I say, there's an asterisk next to that one because of the Jon Rahm situation. So I would want to see a bit more consistency in his game. Driving distance is huge here, and he does have an off-the-tee game that is immense, but I'm just not sure that he has the skill set to get the job done this week. He's also not the best putter in the world, and I think putting is going to come into it. Right, we've gone from one young superstar, we've talked about him in Colin Morikawa. I'm now going to talk about one of my favourite players, and a player that I predict, so what date are we on? The 11th of the 6th, 2021. I predict that Viktor Hovland achieves, he's got no majors at the moment. Viktor Hovland, he achieves the career Grand Slam. He will win the Masters, the US Open, the Open, and the PGA Championship. That's what I reckon. He is an absolute worldie. 2 goes at the US Open. Tied 12th and 13th, I believe. Tied 12th came as an amateur. He's never looked back from that moment onwards. He is an absolutely incredible golfer. And let me tell you, his short game 12 months ago was absolutely bobbins. It was shocking. But he has worked on it. And unlike many players, when they go to work on a part of the game, and you can see the improvements, by the way, statistically and visually, he has improved dramatically in the short game. When this happens, when you dedicate so much time to improving one part of the game, often other parts of the game fall apart. That's not the case for this guy. What I also love about him is his mentality, his smiling, his attitude. He doesn't get too down on himself. And he's always seems good demeanour on the course. And I think that is important mentally to win major championships. You have to be in the right place, and that is what I like about Viktor. He's also got 6 top 10s from 13 events this year. That's magnificent, isn't it? He's got the form, he's got the game, he's got the attitude. What's not to like? If I was placing a wager, I am placing a wager, I've already done it. Viktor Hovland is in my portfolio already. He will be one of my outright bets. And if you want to get some money down early ahead of the, spending it on the Euros this week on that poxy sport of football, get on Viktor Hovland. You will not go far wrong. I'm sure he'll give you a run for your money. Right, Patrick Reed is the next one I want to talk about. I'm only going to keep you for 2 more minutes. I promised you 10 at the start. We're going to be 20. By the way, if you are enjoying the content, can you please subscribe below? We've got 33 subscribers. I think I've said that 3 times now. Nearly said it as many times as I've got subscribers, to be fair. But it'd be great to get some more followers. There's a lot of effort that goes in and research to bring you this content, as I hope you can see. And it's been valuable for those that have tuned in so far. So please take the time to subscribe. Also, before we get on to Patrick Reed and finally wrap up with Hideki Matsuyama, can I encourage you to have a look at gingerbets.substack.com. If you are not a member of the Gingerbets weekly golf betting insights email, please do subscribe to that, as well as subscribing to the link below on YouTube. It would be great to get some more members on there also. So Patrick Reed, 7 events, 6 cuts made, 1 top 10, 4th in 2018, 8 top 10s from 13 events. No, that's not right. I'm reading some wrong dates here. I apologise for that. But he has a really good setup for a really good game for this week, in my opinion. He's consistent in the US Open. He's plenty of top 20 finishes, and I think that he has an outstanding chance this week. Like Bryson, everyone hates him. And like I love Patrick. What is not to like about him? His game is unbelievable. His short game is one of the best in the world. His attitude's awesome. Yeah, he might be a bit controversial at times, but he has everything you would want when you've got money on him. He has got that grinding mentality, that will to win, that desire to be the best he can be, and he'll do anything to win, even if that means a bit of cheating. Right, finally, I'm going to talk about the Masters winner, the Japanese superstar that is Hideki Matsuyama. He's going to be available, I reckon, at 33 to 1 with 10 places, and I feel like that could be an outstanding bet. On tough tracks, Hideki stands up. He's got a great off-the-tee game. His approach play is elite. Excuse me. And his short game is also worldy. What's not to like about that? He's also got that monkey off his shoulder now, the whole nation wanting him to get a major. He's got that off his shoulder, and I feel he'll be relaxed. He's shown good form since his comeback, albeit not top level, but good form. He'll be well prepped for this week, and on a tough, firm, demanding track that will mean that every part of your game has to be in sync. He is a player I like. He's had 8 events, 7 cuts, 2 top 10s, second in 2017. They are form figures and statistics to like. So that is my preview of the superstars that are going to be taking part in the US Open at Torrey Pines South next week. If you have enjoyed this video, I'd be extremely grateful if you could tell me your winners below, your best outsiders, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you for listening. Subscribers will be receiving an email on Monday with the outright bets and the best outsiders for the week. Like I say, I haven't finished them, but with what you've just listened to, it might be that you can make some early wagers of your own, because there are plenty of insights that have been given in the last 20 minutes. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I'm sure not many have listened to all of it, but if you have, thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. It's really appreciated. Good luck, and let's hope you back a winner at the US Open next week. Take care. Bye now.